stands out when you think back on the treatment, like a more overall feeling do you think of when you think back on the treatment? But can you say, when I look back on the treatment, I feel, okay, go on.
When I look back on the treatment, I feel very lucky. Lucky in the sense, not that I got cancer, but I think that it's quite prolific really in terms of lifestyle, and but I think I feel lucky in that I live in the time that we do, because my grandmother died with breast cancer in the early 80s, and the amount of improvement and research in both the techniques and treatments has been phenomenal in the last 20, 30, 50 years. And the other thing I feel is I felt really well supported. I felt well supported by my family, by my friends, and by the medical team that surrounded me. And I'm not one to dwell on the negative, so I always find the positive in anything. But I really don't. I didn't try to make it a big deal. I tried to make it something which is, this is what it is, and this is what you do to get through each day.
Can you tell us where you were treated? Just say I was treated at.
I was treated at various different.
Sorry, can we just wait for Tim? No, it's alright. Okay, go on.
I was treated at various different centres in Brisbane, depending upon where the professional that I was going to was centred. But I had my surgery at the Holy Spirit at Chermside, and then I had my chemotherapy at the Wesley, because my medical oncologist, Dr. David Grimes, is situated there. And then I had my radiotherapy in different rooms, but the actual therapy itself was at a clinic in Chermside again.
So just before you said that you felt well supported by your family and friends, this is a pretty big question, but I'll just jump into it. How did the diagnosis and treatment impact your relationship with Dad and your children, and are there any lasting changes?
How did...
So just start saying my relationship.
My relationship with my husband has probably, if anything, improved since my diagnosis. I think we don't take each other for granted, and he was really quite upset about the prospect of me going through the treatment. With my family, well, it makes you realise really, because very often while we're actually quite an emotional, expressive type of family in terms of communicating, you still take for granted that this is what it is, but it's during times where there is something out of the ordinary, something out of the box, that you really get to experience that. So Esther particularly gave me enormous support while I was going through the treatment, because Ian, my husband, had several overseas trips which were planned and he couldn't avoid, although he was never away on the actual days of cancer infusions or the chemotherapy infusions. He was often away post, and there is a 3-week lapse in terms of the cycle of treatment, and you feel sometimes physically fairly low at about 10, 11 days after the infusions. And at one stage I got an infection, which Esther encouraged me to take more seriously than I was taking at the time. If you don't understand, the chemo drugs are basically given to stop all fast-growing cells. So you lose your hair, your fingernails. It affects your teeth. It affects everything about you because it wipes out your immune system to basically kill all the fast growing cells. So it kills your good cells in terms of your hair cells and the things that make you feel vital and alive, but while also targeting the cancer cells, hopefully. And